The first team we look at is last year's Constructors' Champion, Lotus, sponsored by Martini. Their two drivers, reigning champion Mario Andretti and highly skilled Carlos Reutemann, will be hoping for many podium finishes this season. Candy Team Tyrrell, on the other hand, will also be striving for podiums, with Didier Pironi and Jean-Pierre Jarier at the wheel, both highly established drivers within the sport. The team last won a Drivers' Championship in 1973, and will want to bring back the trophy that Jackie Stewart won for them 3 times. We move on to Brabham, who haven't won a title for over 10 years now. However, their car looks very promising. Two-time world champion Niki Lauda and upcoming star Nelson Piquet want to reinforce that. With the help of Bernie Ecclestone and Gordon Murray, the season is looking extremely promising. It's the opposite story for McLaren, however, who have fallen from grace and quite frankly will be lucky to score a podium or two this year. The two drivers are John Watson and Patrick Tambay, who will drive the non-ground effect car, the M26 designed by Gordon Cuppock. But can they challenge for points this year? German team ATS Wheels with compatriot driver Hans-Joachim Stuck will be hoping for some luck or a rare off day from the big teams to score any points this season. However, speaking of big teams, the Scuderia are hoping to bring yet another championship trophy back to Maranello. Although their two drivers haven't any world champions between them, Gilles Villeneuve and Jody Scheckter, the South African, will only want to be on the top step and nothing less this season. 1974 world champion Emerson Fittipaldi is hoping to carry on their momentum from a good season last year. With their ground effect car, can the Fittipaldi brothers team score any points? The young Renault team, who only entered in 1977, have not had a good start, following a disastrous start to last season as they had 4 consecutive retirements due to blown engines. Can the turbocharged RS10 do any better, or will their previous retirements come back to haunt them? Now we take a look at British team Shadow, who after the 1977 season entered a sharp decline. Last year, many of the team's staff left to form Arrows, who we'll talk about later. Unless the two drivers, Jan Lammers and Elio De Angelis, can bring in some good results, the team face existence itself. Wolf Racing, the Canadian team, have recently had much success, with 2 wins in the 1977 season and podium finishes last year. Can former world champion James Hunt continue the team's good form? Over the last few years, Team Ensign have struggled to secure drivers, as they had 4 last year, and that doesn't even include Nelson Piquet's debut in Ensign last year. The Irishman Derek Daly, however, who did drive for the team last year for the end half, will be hoping for a couple of points this year. If not, Team Ensign may not be able to stay afloat. Arturo Mazzario is the driver for his own team that he founded 2 years ago. The Italian is very experienced, having raced for the likes of Ferrari, Williams and March, however the team are yet to score points in Formula 1. Born from the acquisition of Matra, Ligier is the team I will be racing for. Originally using a V12 Matra, the team has developed the JS11 for this season, and it looks highly promising. I will be driving alongside Frenchman Jacques Lafitte. Ligier are hoping for victories this season, with the first coming in 1977 at the Swedish Grand Prix. Al Balad Saudi racing team, otherwise known as Williams, is a fairly new team, as Frank Williams left the previously mentioned team, Wolf Racing, and entered Formula 1 in 77. Last year, Patrick Head designed the FW06, the first chassis he ever designed. Alan Jones, who we saw colliding with an Arrows a second ago, and Clay Regazzoni will be driving the FW07, again designed by Patrick Head this year. Talking about Arrows, they were also founded in 1977. The team, although young, have seen much controversy after their driver last year, Riccardo Patrese, was involved in the accident that took the life of Ronnie Peterson. Patrese will return this season, alongside former McLaren driver Jochen Mass. Hector Back founded the Mexican team, named after him. The chassis will use a Lotus Type 79 chassis, which has won championships before, although it is rumoured that Penske will build the team with a back HR100 chassis later this year. Autodella is the final team we'll look at, also known as Alfa Romeo. They have entered the sport this year. Autodella runs Alfa Romeo cars and engines in numerous car championships across the world. Vittorio Brambilla and Bruno Giacomelli want to secure a successful debut year for the team. The first track of the season is Buenos Aires. The extremely fast number 15 layout is used for the Argentine Grand Prix, with the fastest section looping around the beautiful lake. Immediately we come across the longest circuit on the calendar, the Sao Paulo Interlagos circuit, which will push the driver's endurance to the limit as the circuit is extremely bumpy. Moving away from South America, the high altitude Kyalami circuit in South Africa is located near Johannesburg and features a massive pit straight where we will see the cars at their true top speed. Next, Formula 1 heads to the USA for the first time this year. The popular Long Beach circuit in Los Angeles, California will demand the highest downforce so far this season. The next race takes place at Jarama circuit near Madrid, Spain. The streets there are tight and twisty and almost anything can happen. For the sixth race of the season, we head to Zolder in Belgium. The circuit features many long flowing corners and tight chicanes to make for a very interesting Grand Prix. We now head to the other side of France, to Monaco, for the glamorous Grand Prix held on the luxurious streets around the bay. Anybody who wins will instantly become a hero. We stay in France for the mid-race of the season. The French Grand Prix will be held at Dijon-Prenois, an extremely fast circuit in the east of the country. The home crowd will want to see one of the many French drivers this year on the top step of the podium. My home race is the 9th Grand Prix on the calendar. The race is at Silverstone, which held the first ever Formula 1 Grand Prix, and is built upon the former airfield. 2/3 through the season, the German Grand Prix is held at Hockenheim. The circuit is ultra fast, featuring many long and relentless straights. Next, we pop over the border to Austria to visit the equally high-speed Ostreichring circuit. A new chicane has been placed onto the Zandvoort circuit, which will hold the Dutch Grand Prix. The chicane will make the seaside circuit safer as it is placed between two dangerous corners on the track. The Italian Grand Prix is at the famous Monza Autodrome near Milan. Talking about safety, more runoff has been made at the circuit, which features a double chicane at the start. Leaving Europe behind, the teams finish the season in America. The first Grand Prix in Canada will be held at the Ile Notre Dame in Montreal. Ferrari's Gilles Villeneuve hometown is not far away from here. The 15th and final race on the calendar is held at Watkins Glen. The final to the season will be fast, bumpy, and above all, spectacular. So that's 28 cars and 15 tracks that will make up this thrilling season of racing. If you enjoyed the video guys, please like and comment and make sure to subscribe for round 1 at Buenos Aires.